see the way they hate. And I know better than to listen to people who are calling us slaves. I can feel the sunlight shining.
Oh, good morning. It's Wednesday, October 16th, 2024, and welcome to episode 786 of the TheLOTSProject morning show, where the coffee's strong, the opinions are stronger, and everything is always filter-free. I'm Brian, your host, and today I'm enjoying a Clyde blend from foodforestfarms.com, where you can get the 10% off with discount code LOTS10, and shipping is always free. While you're there, check out C4 Club, and I got to get this screen off of here. Sorry, guys. Check out C4 Club with all the benefits. Coffee went out yesterday. Once a month it goes out. Fantastic coffee. So definitely check out C4 at foodforestfarms.com. And I got to fill my cup. Clyde blend in the French press this morning. Opened up a new bag. And if you didn't know, at one point we made up blends for all three of the dogs. And Clyde this morning, light roast. Let me see if I can do this membership thing again. It actually showed up again, and then I can close the girl next door. Oh, look at that. Oh, beautiful. All right, done with that. Let me get this closed. Sorry about the delay. I had a little stuff in the way on the screen before you guys all showed up, before I went live. But anyway, today we're going to be talking about a stolen mug and the appropriate response. Good morning, Blakesley Acres. Another stolen mug with a different response. 2 new openings here in town and a little bit more. But first, let's head over into that live chat, see who's hanging out, and we will get things started. Good morning, Rewilder Life. How we doing? Thanks for stopping in. Mike's Homestead, good morning to you. John Palmer, good morning. Good day, sir. Blakesley Acres will be spoken about today for sure. Good morning to you. Off-grid ping, morning. And Mike's Homestead got the smiley face because I think he got one of the free memberships. And Rewilder Life got a free membership. I think Off-Grid Ping. Actually, it actually went to some people that are actually here on a regular basis, so that was nice. For months, I was supposed to be able to give away those memberships, and I don't do much with the membership on YouTube. It's just there because it can be, I guess. It said set it up and blah blah blah, and I'm going through and I'm trying to figure it out, and I put all the videos that I scheduled to release there first. Your name comes up in the chat with with green instead of white, and there's some other stuff on the list. You get emojis or some stuff. I'm not sure. I'd have to go in and look, but it is there as a holding spot. But one thing that YouTube says is you get 5 or 10 free a month. 10 free memberships a month. Good morning, Donna Larson. How's it going over in the vertical feed? I got you too, babe. I got you too, Donna. Thanks for stopping in. I appreciate it. You could give away 10 memberships a month. I blew my load all in one shot. I guess it's the middle of the month here. It's 16th. I went in. I happened to stop. I was like, I had tried it. Hey, Don, I appreciate the sub and the like. You're the best. You are the best. We're growing every day. I appreciate it. Stick around for a little bit of the conversation. We're talking about some fun stuff every day. You would have done the super chat, but you didn't have any money. I mean, I get it. Appreciate the free things. That's one of the things about YouTube is like, you might not have a lot of money, but you sure can do the free things like hit the like and the subscribe, and I appreciate you doing that. Good morning, Hunter. Thanks for stopping. Says, holy shit, it's 54 degrees. He put on a hoodie. I've had to put on this stupid ass backwoods butcher hoodie for the last couple days because it's cold, and I don't know. That guy That guy. I wish he was here. We could have a very serious conversation about his behavior. Good morning, Canadian Farmstead. Yeah, it's chilly here too. Hey, Chris, good morning over in the vertical feed. Coming in hot with Kamala Harris as a domestic terrorist. You're in the wrong feed, bud, if you're worried about Harris or Trump. Don't give a fuck. Don't give a fuck. Chris says Tim Walz is a child molester. Now, I don't understand. I don't know if I can confirm that. I do have some thoughts on Tim Walz, and they are in my show notes for today. So we'll see. Chris says America first. America first. Rewild their life. I got snow yesterday. John Palmer's got 38 degrees. I think you're in Oklahoma, all right, John? 70 this weekend. There, nobody's ready for snow. Canadian Farmstead. Hey, Chris says stop sending my taxes to Israel or Ukraine or Palestine and help Americans. You do know old Donnie likes sending money to other people too, right? You know it's just not them stupid liberals. Rather life says I guess my peppers aren't going to be ripening. Yeah. You got a greenhouse? Do you have any sort of greenhouse? Any sort of plastic to throw them under? Maybe it'll help. It's only supposed to be a cold snap for a couple days here in Tennessee. I don't know about everybody else. I guess Michigan is in the depths of winter almost. So, and God, Canada. Does Canada ever thaw out? Donna, I don't have any mods. Thanks for asking. I just don't use them. I do all the moderating myself because Superman. Rewilder Life says I have hoops, but these peppers are 3.5 foot tall. Yeah, that's tough to get in. That's tough to get in a hoop house. Donna's in Mansfield, Pennsylvania, Mansfield, England. Where random city dropper. And Rewilder Life says I'm farther north than Canadian Farmstead. Yeah, but he's in Canada. It's not where you are. It's where you are. Anyway, I had stopped in about the membership thing, and I was supposed to be able to give 10 away. 10 away each month. I'd go in there and there was just like no button to do it. And today I just happened to randomly go in there to see about something else, and bam, there it was. So poof, before it disappeared, I gave away all 10 memberships. Hopefully you got one. Hopefully. Donna's in Mansfield, Ohio. Donna, did you know that there's more astronauts from Ohio than any place else? Can't wait to get out of Ohio, and being born there makes you want to leave the whole fucking planet. Good morning, Mr. Pippin. Thanks for stopping in. Appreciate that. Crip Blue woke up in a motel spooning a prostitute. Whoopsie. Gonna have to pay for the whole night, bye, brother, after you fell asleep. Jeez. Anyway, drinking the Clyde blend here. It's fantastic. I really like what he did with the 3 dog blends, the Clyde, the Norman, the Walter. Rest in peace, Walter. But yeah, the Clyde is on that light end, and that's my preference for sure. So, enjoying it this morning. And yeah. Like everybody else said, cold here. I think it was in the 30s overnight. I didn't really check the thermometer this morning, but I saw Corey had the wood stove cranking when I got up. She's actually shifted her schedule a bit to be healthier. She's getting up a little earlier, taking a longer break, doing some morning running. and exercise. So that switched things up. She's getting up just a touch earlier and getting things rolling in the camper. So, Ruadler says tomorrow's my Friday. Mansions the next 2 days. Send coffee, and Farmstead says that makes me tired just thinking about it. Just walking around a mansion in general makes me tired. But even cleaning it on top of it, I'm like, yeah, no. Canadian Farmstead says keeping my little house clean is hard enough. Keeping my fucking travel trailer clean is hard enough for sure. All right. We have some serious shit to talk about. Blakesley Acres, I saw you say good morning there. Do you have the show fired up in the shop? Are your new employees there and listening? Maria Wilder Live says only 5 bathrooms today, all glass and all tile. Why? Do they use all 5 bathrooms? While we wait for Blakesley Acres to confirm the presence of him and his minions within earshot, I'm just curious. Only 5 bathrooms in the mansion. How many of them are actually dirty when you get there? All of them? Like, how many people live there? I'm trying to wrap my head around if I had 5 bathrooms. Corey, if we had 5 bathrooms, would you use all 5?
4 doors would be shut and 1 bathroom would be used.
Corey says 4 doors would be shut, likely locked or chained shut, and 1 would be used. Blakesley Acres confirms. Now, there's been a tragedy within our communities. We have a lot of overlapping communities. We have a lot of different folks that hang out and chat and interact. And we brought a lot of those communities together a couple weeks ago at Self-Reliance Festival. Canadian Farmstead says poop in one every weekday and have to double up on the weekends like a peasant. Oh, so I got to meet Joe at Self-Reliance Festival and his wife. I got to reconnect with Kyle. Reconnect. But those two got together on the way out. Kyle stopped and helped Joe work in New York at his new shop and helped him get a little ahead. And then they traveled together separately. Kyle took off, but then they stayed together. They stayed together at SRF in a little Airbnb. It wasn't Kyle and Joe in the little Airbnb, or it was Kyle, Joe, and Joe's wife, which, well, draw your own conclusions from that. And I think Tri-Oaks jumped in there. Zach from Tri-Oaks Farms jumped in there for a little while too. So good on you, Joe. Good on you. But anyway, then Kyle, as a stand-up man he is, on the way home, stopped and helped Joe again. I assume to get caught up. On the work from being gone. Now, Joe's got 3 employees. I think it's at 3 now. He had 1, and before he left off, he brought on 2 more. Hello, gentlemen. Thanks for listening. I don't know if Joe makes you listen or you want to, but regardless, I appreciate if you could all go on your own devices and turn the show on. I could use the extra listens and comments. So tell Joe to screw himself from 7 to 8 Eastern, and you're going to be on your phones and have a lot of. You can put them on mute. Blakesley Acres says, "And lady, you're lady, right? Or did Tri-Oaks bring a lady? I only saw 1 lady. Huh? Oh, you hired a lady. Oh. Well, Congratulations. I did not know that. He says yes. Because I asked 3 questions and he says yes. Well, I'm assuming Blakesley Acres has Canadian pharmacist. That's good thing Corey's there to translate. I'm assuming Blakesley Acres has himself 2 gentlemen and a lady in the shop. Do you have to be like PC now? Because I saw the way you boy butchers talk to each other. I saw the way that goes down, handling the meat all day and making your sausage and all that kind of stuff. Does your lady friend hang with the boys, or did you guys have to do you have to be gentlemen? With Kyle there, I know that would be tough. You probably had to give her the days off that Kyle was there. Well, anyway, Kyle, out of the goodness of his heart, or so we thought, decided to stop at Joe's on the way home also and help him record some content, which was a good idea and everything. Blakesley Acres says, yes, she does put us in our place. Sorry, my hands were all blood. It'll happen. It'll happen when you're cutting animals up. Anyway, Kyle stopped, and we felt that, I thought, hey, that's really nice of Kyle. He's going to stop and help his friend. Gonna help him get caught up, record some content, maybe do a little promotion for both of them, since Kyle's like TikTok famous now and he can't show up for the show. And so they did. Kyle posted videos and he made his way home and he made it back to New Hampshire and everything was good. Yesterday I see a video and Kyle did the unthinkable. You guys know how I feel about coffee. You guys know it's a mainstay of the show. You guys all drink it. I think it's fantastic. I try to drink the best of the best at Food Forest Farms. Promote it, drink it, all of that. Coffee's a little sacred, and the vessel that you use to drink your coffee, the vessel, the chalice for your morning goodness, the cup that you poureth the morning energy into to give you life to make it throughout the day is sacred. And I see a video yesterday, I think it was yesterday, of Mr. Perot drinking a cup of coffee, talking about how good it is, making his little off-color joke about his nipples getting hard and blah blah blah, and we couldn't tell if it was his nipples or his wiener because they're about the same size. And then he's like, the only thing that make it better is in a stolen coffee mug. And my heart sank. My heart sank. And I knew exactly where he was going with it. That fucker stole Joe's mug. That fucker stole Joe's coffee mug. Took it back to New Hampshire and is now flaunting it on the internet. Joe, I think that's a call to arms. I think there needs to be a swift and forceful response. That man needs to be shown what a coffee cup means, what that mug means to you. I had an idea last night. Hunter says, was it his cup or just one of his? It doesn't matter. even if it is just one of his cups and he stole it purposely, leaving the man short a cup if he is in need, that is just as bad. Pip says, "Oh, that's low. There's low. There's really low, and there's stealing a coffee cup." Yeah. So it kind of bothered me when I saw it, and I felt bad for Mr. Blakesley because I think after meeting Mr. Blakesley, okay, well, update from Joe. He said that's not the only thing he ended up with. I mean, he was talking about your virginity. We all knew that. It was one of his 2 cups. The man has 2 cups. The man only has 2 cups. Canadian Farmstead had to unfollow Backwoods Butcher after seeing the fact that he stole a coffee mug. Now, Mr. Blakesley, when I met him, after meeting him, interacting with him for a few days in person, picking up a vibe off him, he's a pretty nice guy. I don't think he'd talk shit if he had a mouthful. I really think that he has to try to be a mean-spirited man. I think that the fact that he kills peaceful animals for a living is kind of ironic because he's a really nice guy. I don't think he has the cojones to mount a appropriate response for the stealing of the coffee mug. Canadian Farmstead says, you know those young socialists from New Hampshire, you have 2 mugs and you have to give me one. Hunter says, because if you steal my Reed's Rabbitry cup, but you take my Bitcoin mug, whoa, yeah. I mean, but still the fact, stealing is horrible, and we shouldn't do that. So I contemplated what an appropriate response would be. And Pip says, just send Kyle's kids a bunch of sugar treats or crack. Send Kyle's kids crack. I think, hey, Joe, if you're listening still and you can clean the blood off your hands or have one of your lackeys respond, how long is the trip from where you're at to Effingham? Is that like a 12-hour? I'm trying to picture it. Is that like a 12-hour, maybe a 13-hour drive? I've been rolling something around in my head, and we know that the Backwoods Butcher doesn't listen to this show anymore since he blew up and he's all famous. He says it's because he's tired in the morning, and 9 hours, perfect. He's like, I gotta get up, I gotta watch my kids in the morning. If he wasn't up all night, giving handies to TikTokers, he'd probably get up and listen to the show in the morning. He always says, I'm so thankful for all the help you gave me when I was getting started. Yeah, we see who he remembers. We see who he doesn't remember, the little people. Okay, so 9 hours. Canadian Farmstead says I do a great Kyle impression. How was that? For you on the video feed. So 9 hours. Now, if I were in your shoes and I had a couple employees, you working 6 days a week there, Joe? You working 5? You working 7? You working those folks 7 days a week, or do your employees have days off? Because I'm thinking you could mount a response. You could, and I'm saying, I don't know if you need to tell your employees this, but I would think that Blakesley says I work 7, usually get the weekend. They usually get the weekends off. So as a good boss, like I imagine you are, and the fact that they should be thankful that they have a job and such a wonderful boss as you, and such a great place to work. I would think they would take it upon themselves to take a weekend roadie and head on up to New Hampshire and recover your fucking mug. I think I don't know if I would necessarily break into Kyle's house. That is A, illegal, and B, likely to get them shot. But I think if the Mrs. Butcher might get a message or a call, she would be more than happy to participate in the fucking over of her husband. She just seems like that kind of lady. She would be down for a little hijinks. I'm thinking that a roadie for your employees would be a fantastic idea to recover the mug, and maybe leave Kyle a little present behind. I don't know, bullcock or something on his pillow. But you don't steal a man's mug. You don't steal a man's mug, and then you don't steal a man's mug and on top of it flaunt it on the internet. So an appropriate response to a stolen mug, also coming from SRF. Did you guys in the Blakesley, in the Bare Bones Butcher Shop, did you hear what I was telling you? You need to take care of your boss because he's too good-hearted. He's going to let this go. He's got a new child on the way. Congratulations, by the way. You'll make a fantastic father again. But he's got a new child on the way, folks. If you want him to be worth a shit at work and to lighten your workload, you are going to need to go recover the fucking mug. And it isn't about buying a new one. Don't go out and buy him a new one and say that he needs his mug. It's for the juju. It's for the aura. Canadian Farmstead says a burning bag of poop on his doorstep. That, in addition to the bullcock, yes. Hunter says, careful, an eye for an eye. You're going to start the actual butcher wars. I mean, I might not be prodding along. I might not be pushing that at all because it might be fucking fantastic to watch and great content. Pip says maybe acquire the fuses from Kyle's shop fuse panels. Oh God, he'd spend 4 days trying to figure out why the lights wouldn't come on. He'd call the fucking power company, be like, I don't know. The freezer's still on, but the lights won't come on. I don't know what's going on. So, Bare Bones Butcher employees, you've been planted a seed. Now make your boss proud. He can't do it for himself. He had his balls removed when he got married and started having kids. He can't play with the big boys anymore. I mean, Kyle married a lesbian vegan, so he probably made it through the gauntlet there. So he's got a little bit of toughness to him. So you're gonna have to step one up for your boss and make this right. I'm gonna talk about that right now. Thanks, wife. SRF Gully Workdays. There was another mug caper, and this is the appropriate response. So we had work days. It was Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Thursday, we had a bunch of people there. We got to the end of the evening, and I was packing up. We were going to head home and go home, get some sleep, and come back on Friday morning. And it was dark. It was really dark there. And I was looking around for my stuff. I was gathering all my items to take home with me, make sure I have to get everything. Canadian Farmstead says you're rambling too much when Corey has to step in. Pshaw. So I gathered all my stuff. We come home. The next morning, I was making my coffee, and I went to grab my mug, my travel mug, not my Food Forest Farms mug, not my Bitcoin mug, my travel mug. It was a special day, we were going on the road. I needed the little bigger mug with the lid on it, and I pick it up, and I look at the top, and I was like, "This isn't my mug. There's no way this is my mug. It's way too clean." Way too clean. My stainless steel coffee mug lid is stained to hell. Coffee stain. Like it's been used 100 million times, which it has. So I was like looking at it a little closer. Mine had a slidey lid, the little latch, the little lid that went back and forth. This one just had the little hole. It was like see-through clean. And I said, "This isn't my mug. I stole someone's mug." So what a good red-blooded American would do is I filled it up and I took it back to where I found it. Good morning. How are you, mum life? I hope you got that membership I gave away this morning. You're welcome. I specifically didn't pick you. I just randomly give them away. So I did whatever a red-blooded American would do. Filled that fucking coffee mug up and took it to where I figured I got it. I went back out to Gully Days and I started asking the folks there. I said, "Hey, are you missing a coffee mug? Are you missing a coffee mug? You're welcome very much. You're welcome for the membership. Thanks for your support. Thanks for being a follower or subscriber and a liker of the videos." And so I started walking around asking folks, "Hey, are you missing a coffee mug?" And I walked up. What was he drinking it out of? His like cereal bowl or some shit. So I walk up to Hawkins from Chicken Hawk Farm, and the dude is like drinking his coffee out of a like a bowl that you heat up on the fire. It wasn't a mug. It was maybe a soup bowl or some shit. I don't even know what it was. Hold on, Hunter. I'll talk about that in a second. And so I'm looking at him and I'm going, either you didn't bring a coffee mug, which is unlikely, or I stole your mug because you're drinking it out of some shit here. I was like, "Hey, is this your mug?" He's like, "That's where it went." He's like, "I found this one here, but I knew this wasn't mine because the lid's so dirty." I was like, "Yeah, that's how I knew this one wasn't mine. The lid was so clean." And so I said, "Let me finish my coffee. I'll get it back to you." I said, I was packing up in the dark and accidentally took yours. It's a silver mug. They look the same in a headlamp. There were some differences. His had like 2 ridges around the outside and a different lid. It was obvious when I realized. So I did the right thing and I took it back to give it to the rightful owner. I found my mug there, and Hawkins said, "You take it. You obviously need it more than I do because yours is so dirty. Take a new clean one." He says, "I actually have like a case of them at home. I bought a case from Harbor Freight." So anyway, that's the appropriate response if you steal someone's mug, is you offer it back to them. Unless you do it on purpose, like Kyle the Backwoods Butcher, and steal things, that thief. Bare Bones Butcher Shop, you have a mission. Recover your fucking boss's coffee cup. Hunter says, "Dang, Inside Out, did you ever do part 2 of the wax?" What? Part 2 of what wax? The TikTok video I did asking what we were doing. Is that what you're talking about? Canadian Farm says Brian definitely tried to trade up, but then had an attack of guilt. I literally, if you were here that morning, if you were here and you saw the surprise on my face when I could see through the lid of my coffee cup, you would realize that I was not trying to trade up, that I was thoroughly shocked that it wasn't my mug, and I needed to find the owner right away. Hunter says, how long do you think it will take for this back and forth between the two butchers for Red to go missing? Oh my God. It might take all 3 employees and maybe Joe. Could you guys please come up with a plan to go kidnap Red, bring him back to your place, and post ransom videos? Oh my God. Kyle would be devastated. Kyle would be crying out in the pasture. Red! Where are you, Red? And all he'd have to do is listen to this show once in a while and he would know what the fuck was going on. Jesus. I like the way this audience thinks. Definitely. Oh, man. I got like fucking ducks. Pip, where, how many ducks did you hide on the property, Pip? I needed one the other day. I needed a duck the other day, and we were out there, and I told Corey, I said, Pip said he hit at least a duck out here somewhere. We need to find it. You need to let me know. Canadian Farm says I see green. Sitting at 68,155. We're over 68K. Time to do your 68K push-ups. That's 58K. Are we doing push-ups for 68K? I don't know. The 58K push-ups, I can't do push-ups. I never have been able to really do push-ups very good. So I did girly push-ups for a little bit with 58K, and then it got to be too many. I didn't want to get too bulky and manly. Keep my girlish figure. So that's the coffee cup saga. I know that there's going to be Hunter says I thought it was 100 a day until 100K. What happened? I never agreed to anything like that. Not even close. Not even close. If you want to leave like oh, thanks, Pip. Pip says I actually did not leave any ducks up there. It was an afterthought. Well, thanks for letting me know, because I would have been looking for one for a long time. Corey was wondering if you like put it in one of the little streams just floating along. What the fuck? Haven't seen a duck in Tennessee since I've been here, but here's one floating down the stream. Oh, yeah. Don't mess with a man's coffee cup. I really hope there is a response, and I don't think that Joe is. I don't think Joe is mean-spirited enough to do it through social media, and I really think that that his employees are going to have to take the lead on this, because Joe just doesn't have the stones to do it. Can email me for help. All right, what else is on the list? Oh, we got two openings yesterday. I mentioned yesterday on the show that the Little Gray Shed, otherwise known as Handy Corner Cafe. I can't even fucking say it without laughing. Handy Corner Cafe opened up. I didn't get a chance to stop yesterday, but I did see that they were posting that they were cash only until they get their internets hooked up and a debit card. A debit card machine installed. So for the handy breakfast, your handy breakfast, you can only pay cash or check. They do take checks. Should I write up a check? Just take a blank piece of printer paper and draw on it and say I'm good for one breakfast at the Handy Corner Cafe. Let me know when you have your debit card. I'll come and pay you. Probably more valuable than any fiat money I could give them. I should go over and ask them if they want to start taking Bitcoin. As soon as you have your internet, I can hook you up with a Bitcoin payment processor. Hunter says Bitcoin Lightning. I can set them up, and if you're running a business that would like to accept Bitcoin, let me know. I can help you figure out the magic internet money systems. So the Handy Corner Cafe opened yesterday. I'm excited to go over. Hesitantly excited. I have a feeling I'm going to go over, and it's not going to be up to expectations for a breakfast joint. Unfortunately, it seems to be a pretty common theme in the area that most of the places are just reheated, frozen, run-of-the-mill restaurant supply stuff. I do get my hopes up that a breakfast place can buy some eggs and some sausage and some bacon and some hash browns and like actually make them. But we'll see. And I don't think there's been enough grease on the grill to make it really good. But we also had here in Saltillo downtown. I guess 10:15 was a good day to open a business. Is that like is that the day after quarterly taxes or the fiscal year? Is that the fiscal year start 10:15? Because we had two businesses open on the same day in this little town, which struck me as interesting. But general store downtown. It was interesting. I saw the Facebook post that the general store was opening, and it gave the address, and it says we are not a replacement for Willie's One Stop, the gas station. It said you should still go there for your cold beer and your ice and hot food, but we're for your general store needs. And I'm like, curious what's in this place. I'm gonna have to go down and check it out. Maybe they'll want to sell some high-end coffee. It's also thinking about stopping over to the diner and see if they were interested in offering maybe an upgraded kind of French press service. I don't know if they could sell a $5 cup of coffee around here. Maybe I'll go out and do some networking and exploring with the new businesses as they get rolling, and before they really know their metrics, I can get in there and sell them on something. And then a couple months down the road, they'll be like, this isn't working. Would never do that. So I'm excited to see the general store. I have no idea what they're going to be carrying in there. I didn't know if there was actually a need for that. I don't know if I were there's like 3 or 4 businesses in downtown on Main Street here in Saltillo that I'm not really sure what they are. I'm not really sure when they're open or what they do. Now that is probably I would think that's a failure of advertising. I'm in a lot of these Facebook groups. I spend time downtown. I drive through there every day on the way to Delinquent Gully. When I head out that way, I drive through town. The fact that there are at least there's at least 3 businesses that I don't know what they are or what they do or what they sell. And there's one that is totally misleading called the Head Shop. And I was like, that's really weird for conservative Tennessee in the Bible Belt having a head shop right down in town. It's a barber shop, guys. Go figure. But there are there's storefronts, and I'm like, I'm not sure what's in these places. I don't know. Maybe I should go check them out. Maybe I'm missing out on something exciting, but I don't think so. So the 2 new store openings. Rewilder Life says I need to start one. A good farmer food. Yeah. Man, I miss it. We had Corey and I have always seemed to have a breakfast place we would check out, and I kind of miss that. I miss that. The good one, like a good one. Like I said yesterday, the one where you if you went into the kitchen, you'd be like, I'm never eating there again. But the food is so good, you just close your eyes. John Palmer says something you didn't know you can't live without. Right? Amazing discoveries to be had in downtown Saltillo. We were talking yesterday about the death toll from Hurricane Helene, and how I logically can't wrap my head around the number I was finding. But I did say that the most recent article I could find was John Palmer says, way to support local business. If there was business worth supporting, I go to the Mexican restaurant all the time. I used to go to the Little Red Shed. I stop at the gas station. I don't know what's in their store. Like, is it my job to go exploring, or should they at least have a sign on the outside that says, this is what we sell? Or we're a knitting company. Like, I would feel really awkward if I walked into like a yarn store. And what do you guys sell here? Oh, there's fucking yarn everywhere. The article, the most recent article I could find on the death toll from Helene was it was like 5 or 6 days old. One popped up this morning from yesterday, and it's talking about how we had we're having a pretty high death toll from this hurricane season. So they rolled through all the hurricanes that have popped up this season, the Atlantic hurricane season 2024. Over 300 people have died. So I was just curious what they still had Helene at. And so I scrolled down, and I'm reading through all the different hurricanes that have happened this year, and it says Hurricane Helene dates September 24th through 27, made landfall in the Big Bend region of Florida as a Category 4 storm. Direct deaths, at least, drum roll, at least 228 people, according to analysis from USA Today Network. 228 people. There's hundreds, if not thousands, of volunteers there. I would have to say more like thousands. Probably more like hundreds of organizations and thousands of people. And they're trying to tell you that only 228 people died. At least. We're going to cover our fucking ass and say at least. Because we know wholeheartedly that only in North Carolina only, let alone the storm track that went all the way up from Florida. I mean, 20-some people died in Milton. My Florida folks are saying, yeah, Milton was just another fucking storm. It wasn't hell on earth, or it was, I mean, there's damage and things like that. Milton, at least 17. That's probably low. 228 people. I don't even know where to go with it. John Palmer says he's lived where he's at for 49 years, and there are businesses he doesn't even know what they are. Hunter says, I know he's busy, but I wonder if Bear has better numbers. John Palmer says one community of 60 people lost 20. One community. Think about that for a second. One community of 60 people. How many communities of 60 people do you think there are in the mountains of North Carolina? 100? They're all small little towns. Pass through, no light, no traffic light, small, and then they progressively get bigger. One town of 60 people lost 20. And they're saying at least 228 people died through the whole storm path. And we have to think that this started in Florida, went up through Georgia, Tennessee, North Carolina, and then off to the ocean, but also hit South Carolina and Alabama. Is that Alabama next to Georgia? Yeah. If this isn't just if this doesn't open your eyes and make you wonder, I mean, I guess if you're listening to this show, you probably don't believe much of the bullshit that comes out of the talking heads as it is. But if you do, wake the fuck up. Bear said that at SRF that there were 1,200 dead in one county he was in. $1,200 in one county. USA Today reports at least 228 people died in the whole fucking storm. John Palmer says geography's hard. I need to keep the streak up. Yesterday I had a hard time with reading and math, so I might as well move on to geography today, and maybe geometry later. I don't know. It just is, and I know I talked about it a lot yesterday. I know I talked about it. Oh, Jamie says he's 2 minutes behind. That's all right, man. That's a good number. It's really perplexing me. I mean, I know the simple answers, but the question is why? Why so underreported? Why open yourself up to criticism like that? Why do the people in California, do the people in Montana, do the people in Arizona, up in Maine, do they look at that and say, oh, it must not be that bad? Is it only because a lot of our communities are based in this area? Is it only because we're a citizen response type of community where we have people in our networks on the ground saying things? Is this the only reason we're tied into these numbers? It seems like everybody in the audience, at least in the main feed that listens most regularly, and probably not because I've talked about it, because you're bringing new information to me on a daily basis, but it seems like we all kind of know that they're hiding what's going on. They, as in just the mainstream media or whoever their puppet masters are. But what's the end goal? I don't think that hiding the devastation really ends up achieving an eminent domain type of thing. Like people are saying, oh, there's a lithium deposit or the quartz and the silicon, and I don't think that it elicits a eminent domain thing, because then once they say, oh, we're taking over this property, people are like, wait, it wasn't that bad, only 200 people died. John says they don't want to allude to the true number for their future voter toll. And I was kind of going towards that voter. And man, it's a spiraling rabbit hole to go down to weave this together. But cloud seeding, directioning, a hurricane directioning. I don't think that's right. Controlling the path of a hurricane. Thousands of people dead in a traditionally conservative voting area, if they voted at all. I'm guessing voting is on no one's mind anywhere near the mountains of western North Carolina. Can we replace the dead with imports? Hunter says yes, but these are our people. We are more invested in the outcome of this than everybody else in the world. Yeah. Hunter says it's an election year. The government doesn't want to show weakness. The government doesn't want to fail. It's an old story. The list goes on. Yeah, I mean, it's not that old. It is in the news cycle, but it was underreported from the minute it happened. The devastation, like you saw glimpses of the highway collapsing and this and that, and then it was just done. That wasn't even the start of the worst of it. The highway collapsing or the mudslide on the highway. That was like a blip on the radar of what actually is happening. Some of the stories that are coming out of these people that are on the ground. Pip says they don't want to report on the death numbers because they're all changed to Dems after the hurricane. I mean, how sick is that? How sick is that? So let's even just take out the cloud seeding, the weather manipulation, the tracking of the hurricane, everything that happened prior to it making landfall and flooding and killing all these people. Let's say that was all just natural. That's nature. Nature sent a hurricane up, and it made landfall. It went across. It tracked. It went someplace that it normally wouldn't, and caused mass destruction because of a large amount of rain in an arid area on the backside of a mountain. Hey, Jamie, have a great day. I hope you swing that hammer steady and smooth. We'll talk to you later. Let's imagine that all happened. The rain came down, the flooding happened, total towns are wiped off the map. What kind of horrible person then makes the decision to say, we're not going to report what's actually going on? You know they've seen it. You know that they know what's going on there. What type of people, even if it's not the boss, what type of journalist, what type of media person is standing there saying, oh, we're only going to report that 200 people died? It calls into question the character of the folks feeding you your information, huh? And if they're willing to do that, what else are they willing to do? You need to quiet down. So there's that. Hey, Clyde's mom went outside, so Clyde is upset now. Had a little bit of Tim Walz stuff. I'm not vested in the election. Oh wait, Hunter says, how about this? If we donate all of our money to the victims, there won't be any funds to donate to your political campaign person. And John Palmer says, whatever they're told. Who's doing the telling though? And does anybody think that Joe Biden's running this country? So who is really running the country? I know Donald Trump told Glenn Beck yesterday. I saw it was all over my Facebook. Donald Trump tells Glenn Beck who's really running the country. I couldn't bring myself to click. So I don't really give a fuck about the election, but Tim Walz was the governor when I was in Minnesota, so I have a near and dear place to my butthole with Tim Walz after living through COVID with him, living through basically his whole existence as governor of Minnesota and watching what a fucking twat he is. I saw this article and it was funny because it says Walz to unveil Harris's plan for rural voters as a campaign looks to cut into Trump's edge. You know, that makes sense. He's from Minnesota and everything. You know, whatever. She's from California, LA. She blew her way to the top in LA. And then was it LA, I think, where she blew the dude to get a job and is readily willing to admit it. So I suppose Walz would be a better pick to try to figure out a plan for rural America. Except I don't know if anybody remembers, and it probably wasn't national news. It really probably wasn't in national news. Tim Walz, I remember, Petridge Farms remembers. Tim Walz made a comment about rural Minnesota at one point when we were living there. So we were 90 miles north of the city. We were definitely rural Minnesota. And I can't quite place what it was about. I'm pretty sure it was during COVID. And I was thinking that he was talking about clinics or something, testing, some bullshit about COVID. And he made a comment about rural Minnesota. And the only thing in rural Minnesota is rocks and cows. This is the guy that the Democrats are going to have try to win over the rural voter in the United States. The guy that in his state that, yes, it is controlled by St. Paul, Minneapolis, Rochester, and Duluth. the big population centers. And they are like so blue that, I mean, yeah, like most places, the city, super blue. But the rest of Minnesota, pretty red. When you're trying to win those over and you're maybe trying to get some people that have a soft place for liberal causes, there's a lot of older folks in rural Minnesota that, you know, they used to be Democrats when Democrats were like what Republicans are now and not the whole paradigm shift that's kind of shifted fucking hard left. So you could probably make the case that you could swing some of them just by identity politics. I've been a Democrat my whole life. Don't really pay attention to what's going on because you're too busy working. And the Democratic candidate, Tim Walz, is, you're trying to garner support. But to come out with a comment that the rural Minnesota, the only thing out there are rocks and cows. Rural Minnesota really latched onto that real quick, and there were signs everywhere. Welcome to rock and cow country, things like that. Basically, a big FU to Tim Walz. Tim Walz had so many billboards around as I drove across the state about the shitty decision making he has, the horrible handling of COVID response, of George Floyd response, of gun control out of control. Did you guys see that he went on the pheasant opener and couldn't load his own fucking shotgun? Rural America is who they're going to target. And if the Democrats have anything to do with it, the polls will completely swing to all rural voters are voting blue this year. Watch it happen. The dude couldn't load a shotgun, but he's going to pull the redneck vote. Oh, these guys, these stepping out and watching it from the outside definitely is a lot more entertaining. So tomorrow, guys, we'll be talking about some drones over our military bases. Anybody see this shit coming out from last year? I got to dig in a little bit more and watch some video and read a little bit more. But it looks like the Air Force or the military in general released a bunch of video and information about some drones that pestered them for a couple weeks. And they're letting us know now a year after the fact. So is this part of Project Bluebeam? Isn't Bluebeam the aliens? I think it was Project Bluebeam is the fake alien psyop from the CIA. Is this part of that? Is this real? Was this a foreign agent? Was this a different country coming to spy or to thumb their nose at us, or was this somebody from another planet? We will dig in to that a little bit tomorrow. Still down in the video description and the audio description, I got links for the Western Rise Evolution pants. You can get 15% off all Western Rise stuff at their shop. Link down there, but 15% off with code TheLOTSProject, and Happy Nuts lotion and spray. Link down there. Hey, get your nuts happy. If you're working away, you got sweaty, chafy balls, and we're going into fall, into winter, but in the summer it's really bad. It helps with dry skin too. You know, that rubbing when things get dry. Get some Happy Nuts. Check it out. Order a bottle today and check it out. Let me know what you think. Other than that, I gotta get rolling, and it's Wednesday. It's hump day. Get over the hump. Make it happen. Get everything done that you need to get done. Make it a little extra special. And Bare Bones Butcher Shop employees, remember, you have a mission. You definitely have a mission. Rewilder Life says spray chemicals on your bits. I can give you the list of what's in it. It's all right. It's all right. I will dive farther in for you, Rachel, and let you know what it is. It's basically silk powder. silky goodness. And if it is something horrible, I will definitely kibosh the recommendation. But what do I need my bits for anyway? All right, guys, having a fantastic day. Get a bunch done, and we will circle back and catch up with you tomorrow.